very good victory. Super proud of our football team. You know, I sat in here and told you that, you know, last Saturday while at Auburn. But on Monday, we talked about it, that the guys keep on working extremely hard. They care about each other. I feel like we're improving in certain areas, and it continues to show up. When mistakes happen, we've overcome it with the other side or another group or another person stepping up. And we talk about that a lot, you know, because, you know, adversity is going to hit. How do you respond to it? How do we handle it? Our guys have done that. You know, it starts with great effort, and wasn't always pretty out there tonight, but the effort was. And I really appreciate that from our guys, because, you know, that's where it starts, with the effort, with the physicality and the toughness. And thought we played really good again in all three areas, and great team victory.
Mark, you talked with us just a few weeks ago in here after the loss against Tennessee, and you said, I know how hard it is for the fans right now with the way this has been happening on this field. Mm-hmm. What does it feel like for you and these players to give these fans a home SEC victory tonight after you'd said that a few weeks ago?
Oh, it's important. You know, I acknowledge that. You know, I understand. These folks sacrifice an awful lot, and they care, they continue to show up, and we're going to need them to continue to do that. And we always acknowledge it and appreciate that. And they, you know, have to save money. They travel long distances. They, you know, show up, you know, week in and week out. And I've always acknowledged our responsibility to play well for them. And I promise you, we give a great effort. And you know, I like this team, and I think they do too, because they're very tough, and they care, and they're passionate for each other and to play well. And it was nice to get some rewards. You know, we're close a lot, but that doesn't count, you know, when you're a fan or media, you know, so I understand that.
Mark, when things were at kind of their darkest or most difficult, why didn't the team implode? You see that happen around the country, yet kind of attacking, and why didn't it happen?
Just not what we're gonna do, you know what I mean? We're just not gonna do that. You know, we got really good leadership. I've said that over and over, and that's not just coach speak. You know, they really genuinely are great young men, and they work really hard, and they care. They care about the way they play, and you know, and tonight again, it was a great moment in there because mistakes were made. You know, fumble, punt return, you know, interceptions, fumbles, different things, and the other side has to pick them up. You know, and you know, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Mark, I think on media day, Brad said he felt like there was as much young defensive talent here as there's been since he's been here. Are we starting to see that with some of the guys that are making plays?
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of guys step up. I mean, on defense alone tonight, we were down Alex, Lovett, Sam Green, and Tavion, you know, for the majority of the night. And other guys stepped up. And you know, that's really good to see.
Mark, the first quarter, when you're going into the second, and Cutter hits Willie, and then you just put your foot on the gas and went tempo. What was the reasoning behind that decision, and why were you comfortable with going at a pace like that?
We've done that a lot, you know. Well, we've done it, you know, this year, and it's about, you know, you can go fast, but you have to get first downs, right? And then you get plays, and then you get them on the heels, and so we tried it, you know, from time to time this year. And when you're effective, you can do that.
And then conversely, third quarter is kind of a classic Stoops demoralizing drive. What did you feel about the offensive line's response to that?
Yeah, I thought that was an enormous drive to start the second half, you know, and we really were physical in that drive. We mixed it up. We converted some third downs throwing, I want to say, and we started throwing a little bit, but we were balanced and we were physical. And you know, at that point, you know, you're trying to put yourself in a great position to win the game, right? You know, long drive with 7 points at the end of it was pretty important.
Mark, Seth McGowan, he had a big night. What do you think about his progression all season long?
Yeah, Seth is a really good football player, and he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to bring down. So just, once again, love the physicality that he plays with and the passion that he plays with. He has great vision. He catches the ball very good. He's a good football player.
Mark, how much did you all kind of redo the short yardage package after that Texas game? It seems like you've been doing a lot of different wrinkles that we had just not seen before.
Yeah, we have, and again, going into that game, we had been good, for the most part on short yardage, and wasn't in that game. So you better look at it, you better evaluate it, and these guys we play are pretty big and physical, so you better have some different wrinkles, and we've done that.
Mark, is there anything about Cutter's play that surprised you? Like, I didn't expect to be this far along in the area.
I wouldn't say it's fair to say it surprised me. I'm very pleased. He certainly has made really good jumps each and every week, and like last week, I thought that was a really impressive win. And I know the stats aren't overwhelming or anything like that, but that's what you're going to get in this league. You go on the road, it's tough, and even at home against a very talented football team, tough yards out there, and he's having fun, and that doesn't mean it's easy, and it's just all pretty all the time. You have to tough your way through it and grit it out, and and he's doing that, and that's what you have to love about him.
Mark, when you came here, Kentucky hadn't beaten Florida since 1986. You've now beaten them 5 times. What does that mean for you?
As I acknowledged, when I first got here, everybody would throw that on me, and man, we had so much work to do. I'm like, let me try to get just get out of the ground. And so I was just worried about concentrating on getting our team right. And then, we had some really close games, and again, I've acknowledged that one got a little heavy. And it is what it is, man. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Better swing your way out of it. You better have a good team, and you better fight and claw and do what you have to do. And we had some tough ones where we came up short, right? It wasn't fun, but hopefully everybody enjoys it, the victories, because they're hard to come by, and it's a good, talented football team, and proud of our guys.
Coach, what did you appreciate in Bush's play calling tonight?
He's done a really nice job. In particular, I thought we're really creating some space on third downs and getting some talented guys off of us, and finding ways to create space, convert some third downs. We were physical. There was a rhyme and a reason for everything that we've done. Again, we were really effective on short yardage. And when we had to run the ball and everybody knew we were going to run the ball, we ran it. So that's important as well.
Mark, Brad said before the Auburn game last week, the defense wanted to get the taste of it out of their mouth in the Tennessee game. 3 points allowed against Auburn, 7 obviously tonight. So how's the defense, like you said, just really stepped up and take ownership to up their game? Yeah,
I mean, you have to take accountability for it, and we did, and everybody looked at their part and tried to improve, and there's no finger pointing. There's things everybody could do better, and they have. You acknowledge it, and you move on. But as I said last week, the group has pride, and they care about the way they play, and we're playing very hard, but we're executing better too. We're more precise.
If you talk about young players growing into their roles, is that true for your offensive coordinator as well? Is he kind of growing into that, do you think?
I wouldn't say growing into it. He's got plenty of experience with that. It's, I will say, adapting to what we can do, and putting our guys in good position. I appreciate what he's done there, and he's worked really hard to find ways that would maximize our players' talent. And as we see a young quarterback growing up before us, guys are playing better. We're making tough catches and doing some good things, and so I think there's growth across the board.
Mark, since you guys have been, when you were having a ton of success here and on, it's been with a lot of guys at the quarterback position that came out of the transfer portal, a lot of guys 1 year in, Will too, but a lot of guys that you guys brought in with some experience. How refreshing is it to have a kid doing so well so early on and just looking at the potential for growth down the road?
You have no idea. No, I mean, I believed in Cutter for a long time, for many years, 3-4 years. And, you know, it's just, I'm really proud of him, as I mentioned to the question earlier, the growth that he's making and the improvement that he's making each and every week. It gives everybody some hope, and, you know, it's been good.
Mark, you're a defensive back guy, and I remember being there in Gainesville last year after Lagway, you know, threw for 250 yards on 7 completions, and then here a year later, you intercepted 3 times and basically forced him out of the game. So how rewarding is that, to see that secondary bounce back?
Well, always proud of our guys, you know, not directed at any given player. You know, that's on us, not on him. You know, and he's a very talented player. And, you know, we've been playing good. It was important, you know, to play well. It was the next opportunity for us. We're at home. And, you know, so it was super important for us to play well. And I'm proud of our coaches, proud of our players. And, you know, they've really attacked it the right way. And, you know, like I said, they're playing hard, but we're executing. We're doing the little things better.
Mark, any of those defensive injuries do you think are long-term things?
You know, I don't know. It'll be a few weeks, I would think, on most of them.
Since you made the quarterback change, you talked about how Cutter's made growth every week, or shown growth, but so has the team. How much have they like rallied around him, or he like galvanized this group?
Well, you know, that again, I've said that, I've acknowledged it. We're better, we're playing better. Guys are playing better around him, but definitely he has something to do with that. The way he's seeing things, the way he's buying time, the vision that he has in distributing the football, he's making us better. There's no question.
Everybody good?
To go back to
Go ahead,
Daryl's question for me, all around the country, teams that have faced adversity have imploded. We've
Mhm.
seen the teams that were thought to be in the national championship race just fall apart. How did you keep that from happening?
I mean, you know, that's what we do. You know, we have a great staff, and the coaches have done a great job. You know, I care, you know what I mean? I've worked hard, you know, with the team, just in relationships, and, you know, that goes way back, you know, into last winter, into the summer, for each other. Everybody invest in each other, and they believe. And, you know, for me, it's easy, you know that. I think you know me. You swing, I'm gonna swing back. You know, that's easy. But it's not always easy to get everybody to do that. You know, 150 people in our building to do that and be on the same page. And I'm proud of the group effort, the coaches, the players, everybody. We're all in this together. And there's never been one bit, I think you know that, you've covered me for a long time, there's never been 1 inch of hesitancy from me. You know, there's gonna be no flinching, no worries, you know, work extremely hard. I care about this university, the people that give me this opportunity, the fans. I mean, we're gonna bang away, and we're not gonna stop.